Whoa, ho, ho. Welcome to the Not Nerd Podcast. I'm Nate Heath, and we are here to help you tech better. Here with me, as always, Mr. Dave Baylor.
Oh, I mean, live long and prosper. Happy
Yes,
Halloween to you.
happy Halloween. We just got done watching Apple's Scary Fast event, which we realized it was called Scary Fast because it was only 33 minutes long, which I don't think they've ever done an event that quickly, especially one with so much hype around it. So
Yeah,
we are on earlier than normal, and producer Todd has joined us. He said, "Looking sounds good." A little sidestep.
Oh,
If my camera looks a little different, the I believe the latest update to macOS Ventura broke my Canon EOS Webcam Utility Pro app. So my other camera, so I'm using my iPhone 15 Pro Max
I think
to
you look
come to
great.
you this evening.
And I think that I think I don't want to cost you more money, but it might be time to upgrade to a more modern camera that just has a built-in webcam
I,
functionality.
and USB-C. I
Yeah.
know. I've been envying your Sony camera. It might be time to look into doing that.
Hey, maybe I'll
Dave,
give you a good deal. No.
yeah, before we get into the Apple event, I've got a new bit for us.
Oh,
You
okay.
are a big fan of the movie theaters,
Oh, yes.
and I rarely go, but I went yesterday. So the game is what got Nate to the theater?
Paw Patrol.
No.
Okay. Oh, uh, Taylor Swift.
Yes, nice on the second try. The Eras tour, we went, Chelsea and I went and saw it yesterday afternoon, all 2 hours and 45 minutes of it, but
Wow. I don't know if I should
Taylor
admit this,
Swift.
but I am a unlimited Regal Unlimited subscriber,
Yes.
and I go in there to purchase the ticket, in the little app, and uh, it's not eligible. It's $20, even though I'm an unlimited subscriber,
Yeah, yeah, because it's a special event.
I guess.
Taylor Swift, the master at printing money, and
So
I mean, it was an amazing show.
this would qualify on Reddit's unethical life pro tips
Oh,
segment. I'm thinking about booking a show around the same time as one of the showings and just going into the wrong theater
yes,
because I made a mistake
yeah,
and staying for the duration. And I'm old. I didn't know this wasn't Five Nights at Freddy's. I wondered
yeah,
when the
yeah.
bear was going to come out.
Wear your blind glasses and have a walking cane. Be like, I don't know what happened. Todd was hoping I
Saw
saw
10.
10.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. You know,
Yes,
I think I got the mute in time on that.
yeah,
Um, I was really tempted to go to see the Saw movie. I've seen several, and they give me the heebie-jeebies, just the creative ways they want to torture people, and I'm just thinking
yeah.
they're so disgusting. But uh, Todd, maybe you'll go with me to see that, so you can hold my hand.
Yes, yes, indeed. Well, we are recording this evening on All Hallows Eve,
Hmm.
the night of the Scary Fast event, and my hat this evening to "'Tis the Season" is a fine candy corn waxy snack hat from
Waxy snack. That just
Waxy
sounds
Snack, which I
wrong.
am a big fan of candy corn. This is a Draplin design hat, one
Okay,
of many in
okay,
my collection, but
that makes
this
sense.
season I tried to wear it as oft as possible to bring candy corn joy to all.
And this evening, our featured Starbucks Been There series.
Yes.
Oh, you can't even see it because
Starbucks. You've
it's
been to
built
Starbucks.
it's built for the wrong hand.
Disneyland.
Hmm.
Ooh, ooh, mm.
And I've actually been to Disneyland, unlike Paris last week.
Yes.
So yeah, Disneyland. I
Very
recommend it if
nice.
you can afford it.
Yes, that's the key. Well, enough of all that stuff. Now that we're 75 minutes into it, let's talk about Apple's event. Now, this was kind of a last minute event. People thought they were done for the year.
Hmm.
They had the teaser last week with the Scary Fast, and Apple logo would morph into the Finder logo, the Mac Finder. So people figured it was new Macs. People were thinking there was going to be a new iMac, but it's like my whole thing was you don't just use the term scary fast unless you've got something to impress people.
Hmm.
Um, oh, I lied. Before we get into that, there was some other Apple news last week that they don't really want you talking about, and might have been why they dropped it last week and then did like this scary fast announcement right after that. They've raised the all the iCloud and Apple services pricing.
Oh, I don't think I saw that email.
Yeah. So Apple TV Plus is going from, I'm going to round up the pennies, $7 to $10.
Okay.
Arcade is going from 5 to 7. Apple News Plus is going from 10 to 13. And then the Apple One, where you get everything together, the individual is going to 20 from 17. The family is going 26 from 23. And the Premier is going 38 from 33.
So I
So,
just had a
yeah,
client sign up for the 99 cent per month. Is her
I didn't see on the lower iCloud storage. I just think it's the Apple TV, the Arcade, and the Apple News Plus are going up, and then the Apple One that includes everything. How they can possibly justify raising the price of Apple News from $10 to $13 a month? I don't even use it. It's part of my One program. I get
yeah,
annoyed because
I
they
turn it
send
on
me
about once a
emails
month.
and notifications.
Yeah.
But yeah, that they didn't even put that on their official newsroom blog,
Mm.
and didn't really want that getting out. So they kind of, oh, there's this, but hey, we're going to be scary fast next week. So
Look over
now,
here. Look over here. Scary fast.
yeah, now, and Todd asked if they addressed Flexgate, and he needs some product placement in your coffee mug segment with a Dr. RIP mug. Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah, that would be
If you
good.
send it, hey Todd, you send me anything and I will feature it on this
Yeah,
program.
yes.
Anything. It
As our
doesn't matter.
producer, we will promote the heck out of you as we oft do. But so the Scary Fast event, it started at 5 p.m., which is very unusual. There's people speculating it was because that's 8 a.m. in Japan, and there was going to be some big gaming announcements of maybe some Japanese developers or anything.
Hmm.
Didn't see any of that. I think they just wanted to do something different, go 5 p.m. Why not go against Monday Night Football? Um, at least they didn't do it at like 7 p.m. on Halloween.
Well,
That
and
would
it
have been a
was,
little tough.
wasn't it midnight in Europe or something? I can't remember. In like the UK?
Yeah, I didn't check all the times. I saw some people put that together, but yeah. So they started right about 5 o'clock. The intro video, you and I were just kind of getting connected. We watched it together
It was like
separately.
a commercial. Uh,
Yeah, the commercial about how great Macs are, and then Tim, they had this kind of foggy Apple campus that was dark, and he did say "Good evening," not in a vampire voice as
no.
some were hoping, instead of
Good
his.
evening. I'm Tim Cook, the most boring man ever.
Yes, he was wearing some dark clothing standing outside, but they really got into it right after that. Got into talking about the Mac, and they introduced the new full line, well, three different versions of the M3 chip. Now, we've had the M1 and the M2. Now,
Yeah.
this is the M3 chip. And in the past, I think they've just done it like on the low end computers, and then they do the Pro and the Max. They announced it all tonight with all kinds of cool new
Stuff.
stuff. They went through, is it Johnny Sarugi?
Yeah.
The guy that was kind of talking down in the Apple Labs
Yeah. The German
about
fellow.
all the stuff. I did get a screenshot of the pattern, the feature quilt. Is that what we call that
Yeah.
thing?
Feature quilt.
So dynamic caching is something that they talked about that's going to be amazing.
Hmm.
Next generation GPU architecture, advanced media engine with AV1 decode, all that stuff
Oh,
we talk about all the
I mean,
time.
of course, if you're going to do it, it needs all
Yeah.
those things.
Hardware accelerated ray tracing, which we saw in the new iPhones, which is really good for gaming and
Hmm.
kind of graphics work. 3 nanometer technology, the same as the
Uh,
new iPhones.
and I don't think Intel can get past 7. It's
Yeah,
so
yes,
embarrassing for them, but oh well.
yes. Up to 2.5 times faster GPU rendering. It's like that doesn't tell you what it's compared to on this image. They did show
Everything's
some
been the
stuff.
M1 is what
Yes,
they're
yeah, they
or
were
the
comparing
Intel.
to the M1 stuff or the Intel, which is
Yeah.
most people have moved past that. 16 core neural engine and also hardware accelerated mesh shading. So with the M3, they announced the M3 chip, the M3 Pro, and the M3 Max.
Oh, it's
Um,
not Ultra?
they did not
Oh.
have an Ultra. Which
Huh.
did they do an M2 Ultra? Was
Yeah.
that what's in the Pro?
Yeah,
They
I'm
didn't
pretty
talk
sure the
about the
computer I bought has
Studio
the
or the
Ultra
Pro.
chip in it just
Yeah.
recently.
So I'm not sure. They said we've got three great chips in the M3 family. Maybe the M3 Max is so good they don't need the Ultra.
Or it's yet to be
Yet to
announced.
be, yet to be. But so those are the three chips. They talked about that a little bit, but then they got into the hardware, Dave, and what did
Hmm
they announce for us?
Well, they've got the MacBook Pros, the 14 and the 16 inch, and I took a couple notes, but man, it was just so hard. They had these weird graphs that they were
Yeah, they
comparing.
were
There were no
useless
numbers on them, and
graphs, in my
just
opinion.
just weird. But the my big takeaway was that the 14-inch MacBook Pro laptop, they actually dropped the starting price at 1999 to 1599. So what is that,
Yeah,
a $400 price drop? Um, so yesterday you would have bought the machine for 2000 bucks with the M2. Now you get the M3 and $400 less. So that was good. Everything else seemed to be about the same. But in addition to the MacBook Pro, they updated the iMac. But you might be
yes.
saying, but Dave, it looks identical to last year's iMac and the year before that because they haven't updated it since 2020. And you would be right. So what they did is they uh, had all their surgical, with their surgical prowess, they opened up the cases and they took the M1 out and they put an M3 in, and that's it.
Yes.
Nothing
Yeah.
else. No new
Yes.
screen, no new casing, no new colors, no new camera, no new keyboard, no new mouse, nothing. Oh, actually, they still probably use the Lightning connector, don't they? They didn't say anything about the USB-C keyboards and
Oh,
stuff, did they?
I don't think they did. I wonder if that's.
Well, I'm going to look on their website right now. So
Yeah. See
literally
what they've got.
just changing the chip. But I mean, it's a phenomenal product, but I was
It
really
is.
pining for a 27 inch. A 24 inch is just a little small for me. Man,
Yeah.
this website is struggling here.
A lot of stuff going on there, but yeah, the iMac, they said it was two times faster than the M1 iMac, so that's a big improvement. It's not necessarily designed for the pros now. Now I think you can order everything they announce now. I think the iMacs. Oh, it says November 7th, so
7th.
next week
Yeah.
they'll start shipping, and then I think everything except for the M3 Max laptops. Those ones are going to be end of November, but the other stuff's going to be available next week, which I was thinking they might just kind of be announcing stuff and it would be coming in a while, but I think they want to get it out for the holidays. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm scrolling the page and I'm not seeing.
Yeah, I'm not seeing
So
anything.
what
Oh,
did
here
it
we go.
use Lightning for?
Well, to charge the wireless keyboard and wireless mouse, there is a
Oh,
lightning connector port on each. And
to see if they had updated that. I
yeah,
gotcha.
and you can upgrade to the touch sensor for your touch ID if you want.
Yes.
But yeah, it strangely does not say anything. So my guess is it's got the exact same. So basically, they didn't update the mouse or the keyboard, which would have been required to work with the USB Type
Yeah.
C.
They'll wait. They'll wait a couple months and do an event or an announcement like they did for the iPad Pencil of a separate press release for new after everybody orders their new ones. they'll
I mean, it
announce
doesn't
new.
really matter because you could just say, oh, I have a Mac and two wireless peripherals, and every couple months I have to charge it with the cable they included. It's
Yeah,
really irrelevant what type of cable it is because, I mean, you just stick it in your drawer and wait for the peripherals to die. But it sure would be handy if it were USB Type C, so in case
yes,
you
and
lost that cable, you could just grab another one.
I don't think we mentioned on the MacBook Pros that if you go for the Pro, is it the Pro or the Max chip, that you can now get it in space black,
Oh, yes. Yes, I
the
didn't put
space
that in my
black
notes.
version. So I'm on the 16-inch MacBook Pro, and I'm going to see what it is maxed out. So you get the M3 Max chip with 16 core CPU, 40 core GPU, 16 core neural engine. I'm going to add 128 gigabytes of
Of
unified memory. Let's go for 8 terabytes of SSD storage. So for a cool 7,200 bucks, you can have what would be a supercomputer of just a few years ago. That's crazy.
with 22 hours of battery life. Did you catch
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
22
that's
hours? Holy cow. So, what was your price? Did you say 71.99? Is that what you got?
yeah, yeah.
That's what I got too. I have to
Yeah,
adjust
so
my
the
browser.
base model has 48 gigs of unified memory. That's crazy too. I think mine,
48?
yeah, yes.
That's a
That's
lot.
so mine
I'm just going to add that to
I
the
have
bag real
the
quick.
yeah, I have the M1 Max 16-inch MacBook Pro, and that had 32 gigabytes of memory, and I think I had to upgrade from 16. So that's a lot more base memory.
Yeah.
So the base comes with more than my upgraded one did. I had the 2 terabyte uh,
Now, let's
storage
see
on
what a
mine, so
normal
that's
person,
4,400.
here's a
Sheesh.
normal person like me. Let's see what I would
Yes.
get here. Uh, so let's go order now. You can do it. Oh, I could chat with a Mac specialist. I'm more of a 14-incher guy, and I'm
Yeah.
just going to go with the basic chip. And in my model, since I don't have a Pro or a Max, I don't get the black option.
Yes.
Let's
Oh, it
see.
is
Do it.
only the or no, yeah, the Pro. Sorry. Sorry, I'm getting
Yes.
confused. We're learning this stuff in real time.
So it looks like for me, the base model is 1599, and it's got 8 gigs of memory, 512 of storage. I can upgrade the memory, which I did the last time, and I did not upgrade the. Oh, actually, I think I did. I did. I upgraded storage as well, so I paid an extra $400. And so let's see what it would be this time. Well, 19999. I feel like I paid 1997. Did that go up $2
Ooh,
from 3 years
geez,
ago?
inflation.
Dang it. So, yeah, I got to
Oh
save up
man, we're
2,000
getting
bucks.
the network warning again on the YouTubes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
Hmm.
interesting.
Oh, yeah.
But
I'll
yes, so basically, I mean
these.
these new Macs. So we got new MacBook Pros, and we got the iMac. Now I'm looking to see, I don't see the 13-inch MacBook Pro available anymore.
Maybe they're
I
not selling
only
it
see the
anymore. They
14 and the
discontinued it.
16. Yeah, they finally, because it wasn't it before today? I thought they were doing it, but they did not upgrade the MacBook Airs. Those were just released not too long ago, the 15-inch at least, because they have M2 chips in the MacBook Air. Um, but I mean, I would love to buy a new MacBook Pro. It's not needed for me right now, but the new M3 chips, I think they are going to be scary fast. Some of this, which we'll talk about next week when we're back to normal episodes, is Qualcomm just had an event that I watched this last week to unveil their new ARM chips.
Yeah.
And they were bragging how much faster they were using some similarly deceptive graphs and things that Apple
Hmm.
does to say how much faster they were than the M2s. Well, a couple days later, here's Apple with the M3s, and which are going to be way faster than the Qualcomm chips, and those aren't even coming out till next year, I don't think. But
And it makes me wonder, why do they keep trying to be so far ahead of everybody? You would think they would let people catch up and then they would, "Meow." But it seems like
jump
they're
again.
just competing with themselves.
Yeah,
Like there's
yeah,
nobody
they're
else they're competing against.
as soon as they can get these chips ready, they're just announcing them and getting them out there. I mean,
But what
it's
if they hit uh, what if they hit a block in the future and then it's like we go like
yeah,
we used to when it was what was our Motorola chips, the Power PC? Those
yeah,
things stayed the same for like 3 years. It's like we've
yeah,
got zero point zero 0.01 more gigahertz out of this thing, and it's like, oh, they're just the same. So, I mean, they must have a plan, but it feels like they're going to hit a brick wall here pretty soon, and they're not going to be able to get any faster, and they're going to get stagnant. So, I don't know.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's hard to say, but they are going for it. And I think, I mean, if you're in the market for a new iMac or a MacBook Pro, you lucked out that you didn't buy recently because these
Hmm.
are, especially if you push your machines. I mean, even the M1s are still amazing chips for 99% of people, but they were really bragging in the video about, on these Max chips what you can do with AI and with graphics rendering, and I mean, really next level stuff that very few people are doing.
Hmm.
But these are just powerful computers. And again, the 22-hour battery life. I
Ridiculous.
was
And
that just on the 16-inch? I don't know,
well,
but
and they were saying
still,
too that the performance does not decrease on battery. When you
yeah,
plug it in or on battery, it's the same performance no matter what.
yeah.
Which
So
nobody can
they're
touch that. Nobody can
no,
touch that.
no, nobody can touch their performance and what do they call it? The power per
Perf-
watt per
Performance per watt, or yeah.
performance per watt. They did have some graphs on that were just they're way ahead of the competition
Hmm.
on that low power usage. So they said unless you're doing insane stuff, you're not even going to hear the fans. Which mine, I rarely, if I'm doing some serious video editing or something, they might kick
Hmm.
on.
Well,
But most of the time, it's cool as a cucumber.
and earlier, you'd asked me to maybe turn off this Intel MacBook that you gave me.
Yeah,
It, the fans were running just because I had the web browser open,
yeah,
and it was
yeah,
just 100% fan going. It's like, really? I mean, that computer has some issues, so I'm not surprised, but I literally all I was doing was sitting on a web page and the fans
yeah.
spun up, so whatever.
Yes.
It's
My
amazing.
screen seems to be getting really, looks like I'm blushing. Maybe it's just the orange of my hat, but
No, I think you're
I'm,
embarrassed that you're
I'm
so excited about these
Whew,
computers.
I am flushed talking about these new M3, and my jealousy
Well,
is showing in my cheeks.
and I look like the crypt keeper over here with my problems with my lighting temperature that I've been having.
Yes.
I just can't figure it out.
Our stream is healthy again, so that's
Yeah.
that's good to
When
know.
you
So,
mentioned that it was having problems, I quit the driveway cam. Sorry, everybody.
oh,
I'll grab the pad if something happens.
yes, yes.
I'll just get it ready actually because I don't want to miss something. I'd hate to. Well, let's just give a little preview just to make sure this works here. So we're in a lull, a conversation. So there we are, driveway cam, nothing going on. So oh, and if you're looking for a tablet that's not an iPad, I got to tell you the Amazon 10-inch tablet
Yeah,
is still very capable. It's got the USB-C charge thing, which is nice. It runs most Android apps just fine. All I do is I literally use it as a video display,
yeah.
which is kind
It
of a
works good as
waste.
a security cam video display.
Yeah, but the 7-inch had such promise. It was like
Oh yeah,
$70 or something, just
yeah,
super. But man, the processor was so underpowered. It just was
yeah,
frustrating to use. This one cost, I think, is like 150 bucks. I always send in trade-ins and stuff, so it never cost me that much. But like if you went right now, I think it's like 150 bucks to buy one. And I would always spend my money on an iPad if I didn't have one. but I had an iPad and I
Yeah.
wanted to try something new. So anyway, that's very much a sidestep. But
Yeah.
the don't get the 7 inch, get the 10 inch
The
or
10
better.
inch one is more.
Yeah,
Just get an iPad, but if you
yeah.
absolutely
If you're
can't get an
approaching the
iPad,
$300 mark, don't even walk or run. Don't walk to get an iPad because
yes.
it's so much better.
Yes, indeed. Well, yeah, that was the Scary Fest event. I mean, what do you think? With some of the woes that we've had with the podcast in the last weeks, you've been talking about maybe looking at getting a new computer. Are you tempted?
Well, there are two things that interest me. The iMac, even though I'm very disappointed that it's just the 27-inch variety and there's little or literally
Yeah.
no change except for the faster chip. Um, when the first iMac was announced, I'd already had my MacBook Pro with the M1 that came out first. And I was like, oh, I want to upgrade to that. But I was like, there's literally no advantage other than the larger screen. The chip is the same, the memory's the
Hmm.
same, the hard drive's the same. There's nothing different about it. And so it's taken 3 years for them to incentivize me to finally get the iMac again. But now I'm so kind of over it. It's
Yeah.
like, so they did not, did they? They did not mention the Mac Mini.
No, they didn't mention the Mac Mini, the Mac Studio, or the Mac Pro. So
Yeah.
the non-iMacs, which I'm guessing they might roll that out. And producer Todd says, "Will they ever make a 17-inch MacBook Air?" Well, I
No.
don't know. There would be a market. Back the Yao Ming and Mini Me
Well,
airline commercials when they had the 12-inch and the 17-inch MacBook Pros way back in the
they
day.
did have, yeah, they were pros. And so they've never had a 17-inch MacBook Air, but they do now have a 15-inch MacBook
Yeah.
Air, which, fits nicely between the 14 and 16-inch Pro models. So it's if you're not a
So maybe they'll
pro
go
and you
one
want,
bigger to the 17-inch. Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know if they will go to a larger than the 16-inch laptop. I've heard people say that they would love a 17-inch laptop of whatever flavor from
I
Apple,
don't think
but
Apple's interested in doing that. I mean, they've only got enough displays to fit in the machines they're making. So it's like to complicate it with yet another size. I don't know if they're going to do that.
yeah, maybe they'll they would just tell you to buy a studio display for $1,600.
Yeah.
That's their
Or buy
solution for the
two
problem.
iPads and connect those guys.
Yeah, $1,600 for that 27-inch studio display. Yeah, it is interesting with the M3 since with the iMac, all they did was swap out the chip that they wouldn't do the same.
Yeah,
If they're going scary fast, now are these MacBook Pros going to be faster than the Mac Pro with the M2 chips?
probably.
Probably.
They keep leapfrogging themselves. Like I said, they're competing with themselves. But so iMac, probably not. I probably won't go for an iMac. Um, if they put the M3 in a Mac Mini, I might actually do that and keep my
Hmm,
laptop, and then I could do all my studio stuff here with
yeah.
two large displays with my Mini, and then just keep my laptop, which seems like overkill. But when I go to different events and different things, I typically just bring my iPad. But there are some things you can't do on the iPad. Like I recently streamed 4 programs uh, over 3 nights in an afternoon, and I needed my laptop to do that.
Yeah.
My ATEM Mini could have done it, but I didn't have network access there, so I had to do everything
Well,
wireless through my phone. Um, so anyway, the computer was useful for in that respect, and it was easy to record the program. So maybe use it as my production travel kit, and then use a Mini here in the studio. I don't know.
yeah. Yeah. It's hard to say, and of course, we only had 30 minutes of information on them, and I'm sure a lot of the Apple pundits will be getting one-on-ones and more info briefings on the stuff. So I'm sure we'll have some more details next week.
Hmm.
But as we go longer than the actual event was, I think we will wrap up this special scary fast.
Ooh.
Oh, what's the? Let me see if I can trigger the I was going to bring some lasers and smoke into the thing, but for
Oh
some
yeah,
reason
I don't think I have mine turned
you
on.
got some, I see some hearts on one
It's not
screen,
going out
but
over
as we
OBS
found,
though.
I
So
know, as we found out last week,
yeah,
we
I
were
just look like
all,
an idiot.
everybody was seeing different things. But yeah, thank you for those that joined live, and also it'll be on YouTube and your favorite podcast apps, so that you can catch up and kind of hear our breakdown of the Scary Fast event. And we will be back next week at the normal time with the regularly scheduled programming, and get back to all the usual stuff. There wasn't a lot of important tech news this week, so we'll get caught up on it next week. Thank you for participating. Go order your new Macs and share the show with a friend so that we can all get out there and tech better.
NPS. Producer Todd says he saw someone accidentally trigger a thumbs up animation in a Zoom meeting the other day.
Yes, nice.
Beautiful. Bye everyone.
Beautiful. Later.